Good morning, church. Happy Sabbath. As we continue to move forward with our campaign to raise funds for the church renovation, I just wanted to take some time and share with you some of the challenges we face and why it's important, why this renovation is so important. And so I wanted to invite two people to come up here with me, Daniel and Bobby. These two people do so many things for our church, and I just wanted to talk to them real quick and get an idea of some of the challenges they face from where they sit and from where they serve the church. While Bobby is on his way, for the benefit of those who are not here and may not know who you are and what you do, just introduce yourself and give us an idea of tell us what you do.
My name is Daniel Bondarchuk. I am the director of music here at Madison Campus Church. I've been here in that position for 3 years. Besides directing the choir and the orchestra and a few other groups that we have, I coordinate the music that you hear here every Sabbath morning and other things related to make that happen.
My name is Bobby Tishaw. I help coordinate all of the technical multimedia type things, everything from sound through projectors, lights.
And believe it or not, some people may not know some of the difficulties you face. So Daniel, just real quick, on a Sabbath like today, where we have the children's choir, where you have an orchestra, that presents a challenge, a real daunting task. So just kind of give us an idea of some of the challenges you face as it pertains to stage accessibility, space constraints. What are some of the things you're dealing with?
One of the big problems we have is actually accessibility and space. This could sum it all. As you can see, we don't even have our full group here today. We're missing several folks actually, and the stage is already pretty packed. I mean, we would have a hard time putting more people in it. And there have been mornings that we really had to be creative in order to get things done because the stage is not very big. We don't have much space in the back. Those fake walls, they take about a foot on each side. Other thing is, as I said, is accessibility. So after we done our songs, they will leave and they will have all to come down these steps, which for somebody younger like those kids, it might not be as much of a problem, but for some of our folks, it might also be a challenge. So that's a dangerous situation in some cases. We had not long ago a member in the choir who was in a wheelchair and he had to be carried up and down the stage by 3 or 4 people every time. And while I appreciated his commitment to it, I wish we could do better than that. You know, I wish we could have a way to get him on the stage without having to, literally carry him up. One thing. This is as far as people goes. One other thing that we have is now as far as the stage itself, we don't have adequate risers, either permanent or movable or whatever. So when the kids sing, that's why they always sing in the steps, because the elevation we have in the back of the stage, it's too wide for people to stand if they don't have a chair in between them. So for the kids, it wastes too much space. It doesn't function as well. At the same time, it's not the best shape possible for the choir because we can't fit all the chairs in the shape we need to. So we could have a better solution for that. These passages that lead on the back here, I mean, you could just walk in there today and look for yourself, and that will tell you how much we need a renovation. It's a creepy, very tight space that we have to go into, and I have to go over that, sometimes carrying chairs and instruments and stuff like that, doing very sharp turns. It's a lot of work and a lot of complications for something that is done every week, so there should be an easier way. And plus, when the choir and orchestra leave, they will all come that way and they will kind of crowd in that lobby area over there because there's no way to go from here to the choir room without doing that. So one of the things in the renovation project is actually to create a space in there that we will be able to access the choir room directly from the stage and not have to go through half of the church to get there. That, when it comes to people and moving instruments and stands and chairs and everything, that would be very much more better for the way we do things here and for the way we want to be doing things from now on.
Thank you. Now, Bobby, you are our sound engineer, and on any given Sabbath, you'll be up above, controlling the sound, controlling the lights. And to anyone unfamiliar with sound, it sounds perfect. But from your position, you know something different. So tell us real quickly some of the deficiencies you've seen or you've heard, and how this renovation can help to solve some of those issues.
Sure. So as Daniel started to mention, we put the choir out here. You saw the microphones out here. Notice that the speakers are behind the microphones. The way sound works, a microphone picks up sound. So if you take that same sound, put it on a speaker and send it back to the microphone, it creates a feedback loop. That's what we technically call it. You guys know it as that annoying squeal that you actually heard this morning again too. That could be resolved by bringing the PA system forward a little, moving the participants back so we can keep the microphones back. So that's one thing that we're wanting to accomplish. Once you get good input, then you've got to be able to recreate that through speakers. In this particular auditorium, we accommodate such a wide spectrum of music, everything from a live orchestra to a brass ensemble to a technical praise band. And so we have to blend an electronic sound with an acoustic sound. And right now, you see the two speakers up there. Most of you have more sound in your house than we have here. Our organ has way more than that, and that's why it sounds so much better. So that's one thing that we'd be working on. Once you produce that sound down, if you look at this room, it looks kind of neat architecturally, but it's really two boxes. And the way sound works is picture mirrors on each of those and your reflection. Sound travels to a hard object and it reflects back. Now, sound travels in waves, and when it reflects back and those waves come back, they're timed differently. So each time they hit and they're not perfectly aligned, they reduce some of the clarity. And so what you end up experiencing is kind of a mid-range mud after it reflects around a bunch of times. And that's why those of you that sit right here in these 5 rows, it sounds pretty good. Those of you that sit way back there and under the balcony, you're like fatigued by the time you finish a service just trying to understand what's being said. And up here in the balcony, it's just this harsh nasal sound up there. That can be addressed by acoustic treatment, which is part of what we'd like to do on the front of the balcony as well as those back walls, so that, like if you were to go to a concert hall, you're going to hear the sound correctly once, and it's not going to reflect around 35 times on you. We've invested money in a children's room and a training room back here, and the PA that's under the balcony, all that runs on a PA system that's well over 45 years. We don't know exactly how old it is because there are no labels on it. It's literally just 2 transformers with wires in and out. It's kind of scary. It works sometimes. Other times it doesn't. There's nothing we can do to fix it. We've had people come out. It works fine when they're out. It just needs to be into something that's actually current. Projectors. I'm sure you guys didn't invite your friends here to look at the state-of-the-art picture that we have projected up there, because there's really no color saturation. We're projecting it on a flat paint that is taupe in color. And so each week, the people that are creating graphics for you have to come out here and actually look at the projector to see if you're going to be able to actually see it, because it's so different than the monitor they're looking at in the back. Lighting is another whole world. I guess you've noticed that it's really dark on the stage right now. This whole line up here, well, one just decided to work. It was out this morning. We've reset everything we know. It doesn't seem to help. There's a section of lights right here that right when we're in a very meaningful time in the service, they'll just start schizophrenically flashing and random, and there's nothing we can do with it. So there's a little improvement we could do there.
Thank you. You've heard them share some of the issues that we're facing, and there are others. And so that's why this renovation, this church renovation project is important, and this fundraising campaign is important. You know, I believe that if you have been too much, to whom is given much, much is required. And we've been given a lot. We've been blessed a lot. And so my mother always used to say, if you can do better, do better. So listen to my mother. So as we move forward with this fundraising campaign, I just want you to keep these issues in mind. and why we're doing this. We want to be able to put forward our best effort in serving God. And we want to be able to put forth our best effort to make this church accessible to those who need access to the pulpit, to different areas around the church. That's important to us. And so as you move forward, keep those things in mind, and also ask yourself this question: what can you do to help? Thank you, gentlemen.